super late game carries.
Let's see. Let's see if those late game carries are going to be able to get the early game farm they need to ramp up that damage. Of course, the mid lane between Nisha and Armel, there's going to be a lot of early game rotations from them. Imagine a lot of emphasis once again on the support. It really hasn't changed in quite some time, even though the side lanes have a little bit more priority now with the gates. You're always looking to try and take over those power runes as... Foxy. Just a yoink and he might die, but it's a pretty good reflection. Boxy's going to get glimpsed back into all 5. If they got the damage though, Fairy Fire is going to get eaten. And it looks like he might just be able to get out. 3 health. Oh, all right, they got him. Snake from downtown. A couple of tips, in fact, make it to an... I don't know why Nisha tipped Mickey. I don't know what Mickey... I guess he was a snake target. Yeah.
No, I think the snake bounced from Nisha to Mickey onto the bounty. So and TB ran towards the bounty. So he tried to dodge the snake bounce by running away from the Void Spirit towards the bounty, but the bounce still got him. And then he basically brought bounty to his death because he ran closer to the bounty. So a little bit unfortunate. He tried to dodge the first bounce, but basically set up the second bounce. So
that is where the tip comes into play. So
yeah,
understandable. We do see that looks like Yamich going to be moving with the Undying up to the safe lane, so playing with Chrysalis. You've got Puppey looking to play with the new edition of FBZ as well, and these are 2 people that are currently boot camping as well. You've got both FBZ and Puppey staying at Yapsor's house over in Jordan, so it's they're hanging out together, a little bit of camaraderie with the boys, and they're going to be laning together now too.
Yeah, it's always nice for teams and players. You have this long year, so getting the time together is always going to be important, and often sometimes where you can see the quickest growth as a team and improvement. So yeah, we'll see how these lanes go. Yeah, this is the support swap from Secret I mentioned may make sense here. They want to shore up their lanes a little bit by giving the Undying versus the Magnus and then having the range support with the Beastmaster. This bottom lane's still likely going to be very tricky. TB hits level 2 and all of a sudden you've got double slow from Reflection plus Arcane Curse, Metamorphosis for the right clicks. So I think FBZ is going to find himself having a pretty tough time down here fairly soon.
Puppey keeps up to these shenanigans, so he started very well.
Nice.
He was able to drag the small camp, now gets a glimpse back onto Insania. Is it going to be enough damage? Puppey secures the kill. Mickey will be able to get the trade. FBZ, no way, just lives. He's got a Salve as well to be able to work around with, so FBZ will repair some of the damage. Puppey too will be okay. I want to sing the praise for Puppey, what he's done. He pulled the small camp, so it stopped the pull from Insania, then got the hard camp pull to drag the wave a little bit, and then of course we just saw the glimpse then as well. So off to a good start as the captain.
I mean, he's the reason why that lane pulled back, even though he didn't get them. He pulled, 1 melee creep in the end, so it was still a small bit of XP and farm denied, but just getting the wave pulled back, set up that glimpse, and got them that nice early kill. So really good start for Secret in the lanes, a couple of kills, and not enough time bottom that I was kind of expecting them. I think typically, this lane is meant to be hard for the Beastmaster, but some of those Puppey plays you mentioned have kind of swung the tides.
Zai? He's got a big one to play with. He skewered under the tower to drag this wave and took 2 tower hits as a result to that. But this lane, even though it's universal now, it's still not fun at all. Undying is probably the biggest bully out there in the lane. I don't know, as a support, if there's many more. He's got now a Blood Grenade and another Mango being delivered on the Courier shortly.
Yep. Bounty doing what he can to try and, do some little mini yoinks, but the level 1 Janata, not the most impressive.
And how's this mid matchup going between the two? Armel, I think, was at least the games that I got to catch with Secret in the tour. I think he was the standout. Top lane. Chris.
I watched that happen. That was, I think it was on stream too. It was just trading right clicks, but the Lotus into Snake just blew him up.
All right. That's the fine line that Boxy plays sometimes. Sometimes you go a little bit too far, but sometimes that hard work pays off for some incredible kills and some incredible content. So
yeah,
it's a reset. That's what he's saying. It's okay.
Yeah, that's when you're hoping the observer misses. Like, don't worry, he wasn't watching that one, right? He was looking elsewhere on the map. But, well, not ideal. Yeah, I mean, Crystal is like having a good lane here. And meanwhile, you've got the Beastmaster not really being pressured too much down bottom. So definitely good results in terms of the side lanes, and mid lane a bit of a farm trade as you'd expect. Not going to likely see too much action there until power runes come out.
I like this build as well for Armel. I mean, it's nothing crazy, but he's going to go the treads on the Tiny. And actually hold that, because Boxy might go down once again. Snake's already been used. With the decay and another right click, Chrysalis already has a killing spree. So with the Medusa's having a great time. Zai looking to try and punch back with his Q under the tower, but Yamich is happy with this. Tombstone lay it down. They can go for the dive. Chrysalis tanks the tower as well. And Yamich just, what's he want to do? Does he want to deny himself? Still got some resources to play with. So, man, this top lane, disastrous for Liquid.
Yeah, it looked like he thought about like running at the tier 2 tower there just to throw away his life, but then he's like, it's okay. You know, we got this. I got a mango, got some tangos. You can stick around for a bit longer, and yeah, absolute disaster. Like, it's one thing for Medusa at free farm, but to be 3-0-1 as well. He had first blood, which is partly why this lane I think is going so well, because just having that extra starting gold is so nice. But a lot of pressure coming in early because of how well Medusa's doing in this lane.
And all the other lanes, not just the top lane. In bottom, you've avoided a couple of those meta timings. It's now on cooldown for Mickey. Puppy was just able to TP out in the face of the Terrorblade, so they weren't able to get a kill. We've spoken about mid lane. Armel, he's doing fine. We will start to see a little bit more priority from either side around this lane, as we already see Boxy moving over, drop a ward. He's going to be up to his scanning shenanigans, trying to help them secure one of the runes, but bottom FBC almost goes down. Not going to have the damage with Liquid.
Puppy's thinking about a glimpse back on Insania, but Mickey there to protect him, so instead just takes the illusion money and settles for that, since the Beastmaster's not going to stick around the lane. But yeah, you know, I would say more than half the time I see like these a TP plus like strong 5 like Silencer, you're looking at kills. Like usually like TP pops Metamorph, you get a kill, and then you have to play a bit safe while meta's down, and like it's a bit of an even trade. But the fact that we're not seeing TP get kills here is a big win in my book for the side of Team Secret here. TP is still free farming, so it's not by any means like they've, you know, TP's having a bad time, but...
Are you seeing this? Look at this space. Dude, he's running them across the map.
Okay.
He's going to have to TP pretty surely. Boxy will actually try and cut him off in the pass. And does he make the call? It's going to be pretty close. Oh, Boxy's going to stop. Dude, this is so much space. Are you serious?
He's going to keep running around. I guess Insania doesn't mind, since TP's free farming bottom, since there's no disruptor harass to worry about. But yeah, now Insania's just like, okay.
No way. So Zai has to TP, because I thought he was going to try and get the wisdom room, but he just goes on over. So Zai TP from the T1 tower. He doesn't even take it as well. Insania gets it instead. What is Puffy doing, man? Oh my god.
The mind games. He's like, I'm coming for your wisdom room, but not really. And meanwhile, yep, Yamish did secure the bottom one, so they do trade 1 for 1, as you generally hope. So well done by Puppy, just to create a ton of room on the map.
Looks like FBZ is using this time to be able to farm some stacks. Boxy will soak some experience in gold. I even know he's there. Sentry laid down. Puppy might die to the neutrals. Got to be cautious, but the glimpse going to be there to cancel the TP. And Boxy, nice read from Secret once again. Just being able to scout at the bounty hunter, who we really haven't felt the impact of him so far this game. Like, really wasn't able to help Zai in his laning stage, and has tried to start making rotations, but now he's not going to be here to try and help set up for the power room. It will spawn top. And with the Tombstone laying down, Secret, they'll have no hope of being able to try and take a fight to stop Nisha from getting the illusion.
Yeah. You can see Liquid really want to come in and stop this Beastmaster from farming these stacks. TB's just too late, though. He already finished off that, like, triple stack at the big camp. He can't really farm the Ancients too easily right now. Maybe once he starts laying up the next layer of axes, but a really good bit of recovery farm there for FBC on the Beastmaster. It's just classic Beastmaster things. You get the Arcane Boots, you spam your axes. All you need is like a triple stack or something, and you're stacking multiple camps. You're using the board to stack the Ancients while you stack the other camps, so There's just so much farming efficiency when it comes to the Beastmaster that how your lane goes doesn't really matter.
What do we make of this rotation down bottom for Armel? Are they looking to just get a kill into a tower? Do they even feel like they can even get this objective as well?
I mean, this pushes the TB into the jungle. They kind of slow down his farm a bit, and they'd love to get an early tier 1 tower since it really opens up this bottom side of the map for them to, you know, this is ideally where TB wants to farm. Like, yeah, he can rotate top and farm the jungle up there, but then the question is, where does the Magnets go? So then you're taking away Zai's farm. So if you're Liquid, you're thinking, we can't really afford to lose this much ground this early on, otherwise we're going to get, you know, heavily punished.
Yeah, and they want to hit back. Nisha teeping in. Should be able to get the kill into FBZ. They'll glimpse away Mickey to try and help the retreat, but Poppy still's in some danger. Nisha's be able to hold the remnant to cancel Poppy's TP. So it looks like the Disruptor will join FBZ in the grave. He'll make him work for it once again, but unfortunately Roche is not down bottom to get the deny. Meanwhile, Mickey and Boxy, they've been able to catch up the Yamage inside the bridge as well. So really nicely done from Liquid, moving Nisha down to the bottom side of the map to be able to stop that attempt onto the tower.
Yeah. And there's kind of, you know, I think realizing that move down bottom, maybe not the right time. They didn't really have any big item timings. And, you know, Medusa, like, not really ready to fight. She's your most farmed hero and is, you know, just going to be looking to passively farm. So forcing a tower like that, it's great if you can get it. But as I said, like, if Liquid give that up, they're giving up so much ground and they're going to run out of places to farm on both TB and Magnus. Like, TB can't afford to really rotate top. He needs to stay bottom since there's so many jungle camps down there. So Liquid defending it makes perfect sense. And with the TB meta, it's pretty easy for TB to actually be a part of that defense. So really good hold from them, although Secret continue to have a fantastic game on Chrysalis' Medusa. It's a big concern, I think, moving forward, just how farmed he is.
He's so farm, man. 3-0-1. This is going to be like a 12:30 timing on the Manta. And even if they get the kill on Zai, it's going to buff that up even more. They will be lacking the Static Storm, but of course they've got the Glimpse to drag him back. Zai's pretty tanky. He'll need some extra heroes to keep him alive, but looks like no reinforcements are going to come out because they're trying to make their own play on the other side of the map. So we'll see if they'll be able to get FBZ. Nisha's going to be in with the Astral Step. FBZ tries to protect himself with the Roar. And Nisha's out of resources as well, so that's huge. Secret. They felt like they would be able to trade the life of Zai, but unfortunately that's not to be.
Yeah, they'll get the tier 1 tower, but that's a trade as Secret's doing the same thing in the top lane, so good rotation from Secret. This is what you really want to be doing when you have Disruptor in your team, is making these early moves and trying to find ways to get these early glimpse kills. And I like that Secret made the rotation towards Chrysalis Medusa, because, like, you know, he adds a decent amount of damage. The maxed out Mystic Snake and the right clicks at this point can't just be entirely shrugged off, so a good way of just securing that extra farm here. As both teams do posture, this Ancient stack is Liquid have their eyes on it.
They're common Secret. Crystal's going to be able to scout them out for the moment. They've got a Hawk as well for the vision. It's like they're going to be lacking ways to be able to stop the retreat. Where is Poppy when you need the glimpse? Looks like he's just out of range. Armel, can he get in there with the combo? Still without the blink. Very close to having completed. In fact, this creep camp, I believe, should give him enough gold for it. So at least it's a pretty good timing out of his blink, but unfortunately just a little bit too late to penalize Liquid from stealing the Ancient stack.
Yeah. And Medusa's still got at least half of it, so wasn't the end of the world for Team Secret with Medusa showing up just in time with a Mystic Snake and some split shots to take a good chunk of it. So see what Secret's next move is going to be. It feels like, you know, if you're Armel and Puppy, you're thinking, okay, we just got Blink Tiny, I'm level 6 on Disruptor, let's go for some smoke plays, let's make some moves. And if you're Liquid, you're trying to avoid these. It's really up to Boxy to kind of be this scouting force. He's trying to position himself to maybe pop a smoke, even if he throws away his own life. Just protecting your cores can be so big for him here.
Puppy really far forward.
Very aggressive, yeah.
Be okay too. Liquid have a great lane ward. Now Boxy's going to start to lay down some of the tracks as well. Mickey doesn't have TP for another 10 seconds. I feel like they'll need the Terrorblade to defend the tower. And yeah, without him being able to get involved, they're going to look to sacrifice the bottom tower. Maybe they can make a play up top with FBZ. Zai's already looking for the setup.
Yep. FBZ, I think, has got the memo. Hey, they're not defending bottom. Watch out. They're maybe making a move on you. Although it is just going to be some tower pressure on the mid lane, but here comes Tiny ready to defend this one. Won't have the damage to kill Nisha by himself.
This is the beautiful thing about Universal and the item build we see out of the Void Spirit now. I mean, with Strength Treads, he has pretty much 1800 health at 14 minutes in. That is so dumb. So usually you'd think a Tiny is able to blow him up. Really not to be with the change. Top lane, Yamich. Skewer back into Mickey's grasp, so it looks like with the meta they'll get the kill along with the tower as well. So we spoke a lot about how Deuce is getting all the farm she would desire. Mickey is doing pretty well. Still nothing like Crystallis, but still having a pretty good game.
It sucks when the opposing carries having such a good game.
Mel, is he going to be in some danger? Yeah. TPs are coming in. RP is going to get laid down from Zai. FBZ does his best to try and counter off with the Roar, but the damage has been dealt. Nisha with the finishing blow. Can Poppy getting range for the glimpse? He's going to send Nisha back with the dissimulate. Stops that attempt, and with the Axe's box, he should be able to shrug it off. That'll be the case.
Yeah. Looks like Medusa's going to come and brute force down another tower. Wherever she goes, she seems to just take whatever tower she wants. Nice deny from Nisha, but a bit clawing back into this game for Liquid, who are down a couple thousand gold. But yeah, I mean, if you just looked at TB's net worth in a vacuum, like, he's free farmed and had an absolutely perfect game. It just looks like he's not doing that well because of how far Medusa is. So it's like, but realistically, like, I don't think Mickey can really get more farm at this stage of the game, given how this game has kind of progressed. So it's been like a pretty perfect free farm game for him. It just so happens that Medusa got a ton of kills, got a ton of stacks, and just had the freest time imaginable. So it's, you know, far from over. We can see the net worth difference between the two teams, less than 1,000 gold. Maybe another pick off here with Insania getting a bit too deep in the enemy jungle on a bit of a warding mission there, it looks like.
That's a much needed kill though for Armel. Like, he's had this blink dagger for 2 minutes 30 now and has kind of struggled to get it. I think that in fact is actually his first kill involvement with the blink, so that needs to continue to be the case though. Like, this is not really an item that's going to buff him up, and we all know that Tiny at this stage can have some difficulty with scaling into the late game. So if you can continue to find the kills across the map, then you will definitely have a Tiny issue as the game goes on. But currently Armel is not falling too far behind, but that could be the case.
Yep. We'll see how aggressive Secret want to play now. They've got a ton of playmaking potential, but they've also got the potential scaling of Medusa. So
Foxy
back. Yeah. Ooh, got out of the kinetic.
Nearby.
Yeah.
She was thinking about looking to step on over, but not going to jump in. Who would you like to see Armel paired up with this game on Secret? Who's kind of the roaming duo or even trio?
Definitely with Puppy, but I think we're kind of at the point where actually it makes the most, like, you want to fight around this Medusa now. Like, she is incredibly farmed. This butterfly timing is a really big one for these team fights, since TB is not going to have any kind of answer to the evasion anytime soon. And yeah, you know, obviously Beastmaster very strong. He's about to finish the Ags, but I kind of like the idea of Beastmaster being able, like, to kind of solo push a lane out and be a bit more of that pesky split pushing force. Even without the Helm build, I think the hero can still be really good at shoving lanes. Problem is, you play to alone. That's something Liquid's catching on to, and looks like they're going to maybe try and punish that.
It's close to the T2 tower, though. The TP's going to be fast enough to protect him, but the Global Sun stops the counter initiation. Mickey's going to TP out, and Nisha should escape as well. He's always got that dissimulate. Armel's going to be off the mark. Nisha, she's still in danger, though. Static Stormblade down. They're going to toss Crystallis into the middle. Any stunners? They won't have any. Nisha, what a read. TP's out. A well-deserved tip.
Yeah, just something pieced together. Okay, Tiny used his combo. They used Glimpse already. What actually stuns me here? And maybe if Medusa had, like, precast Stone Gaze in position in front, but I don't really think using Stone Gaze... I mean, you're not expecting a TP out there, so of course you're not going to Stone Gaze.
That feels nice. That was Butterfly. So 2 minutes without it, and now, I mean, Parker, we were saying before, you know, Mickey's having a pretty good game, but Crystal's having a better one. This net worth gap is closing, though. Mickey's over halfway towards a Scotty.
TB's farming speed now, with once he starts getting some stat items, you have the illusion, so you're just kind of farming more on the map. And
Zai down bottom. Mel's going to be able to jump over the top. There's just no boys to play with. Zai's a beefy man, but It's not going to be enough. All 5 heroes for Secret down bottom. Yamich, in fact, is the one that yoinks the kill.
It might be Roche time very soon for Secret, though. And the question is, like, are Liquid going to be ready to contest that? Particularly if Global's on cooldown, which is only 40 more seconds of cooldown. And for now, Secret are just trying to go... They're trying to chain these kills together. That's one of the things Disruptor's just so good at. One pickoff can very quickly become 2 or 3 if you're not careful and if you don't have good vision. Like Secret, Puppey doing a good job, finds another D-Ward, so... Really important that, you know, Liquid and Insania specifically tries to maintain some good vision on the map, which... You know, he's got the 1 ward up in the top jungle, but it's really hunting season for Secret. Pickoffs will very quickly snowball this game because of just the nature of Disruptor and the nature of, like, being able to grab an Aegis, basically, with any kind of key kill here.
Yeah, they might go now. Nisha just showed bottom with his TP. I guess Roche is going to swap sides in a little bit of time.
Yeah.
And if they don't go instantly from Secret, they might not have the damage, so they're all huddled up top. Let's see what the call is going to be.
They may have actually gone for this Roche if they had, like, the butterfly, but not having the butterfly has kind of made it pretty awkward. They're going to smoke. Are they going through the gate here?
Yeah, but look
they
at
want to maybe
Boxy.
get there before Roshan?
He's just on the other side. He's going to scout it out. Smoke pops. Who's here,
Yeah,
guys?
Dust there,
Finally, they read it. Sentry. Sorry, Dust is there. Boxy.
I mean, Secret's maybe... I mean, obviously that's good job by Boxy, popping a 5-man smoke and keeping them alive, and they're not really going to be able to go into the Roshan pit right now. They definitely need to wait for this Medusa butterfly to come out. They don't want to have a big fight at the Roshan pit with... They know ultis are going to be back up. The global silence, so... Secret need to be careful here.
Zai's not in this smoke. Nor is Nisha as well. Those are your 2 initiating heroes on Liquid. So it's going to be difficult for them to be able to find that jump now going up against the Hawks as well. As always on Secret. They're going to counter smoke as well. Looking to try and back on off, potentially finding the wraparound. Sure. Does he poke himself into the lane? Secret ready and waiting. Plenty of ways to be able to scout out. They're going to use the Manta Illusions instead. It's a long wraparound. Which might be the first point of contact. Smoke's going to pop. I'll get a glimpse of them. Great position from Boxy. Tombstone even lay it down as well. Do you just kite to the right side on Liquid? That's going to be the case. They want to avoid the Tombstone. As Zai, a global silence and RP just for a Medusa with a diffusal blade. They should be able to bring her down. Static Storm along with Armel's combo. Deuce is not dead. Are you serious? They'll keep Chrysalis alive, turn to the 4 members of Liquid and blow them up.
Just too much sustain coming out there. With Undying Heal and the Medusa Butterfly arriving just on time. What a combo. They just grouped up for the most massive of Static Storms and the Avatos combo from Tiny. We got to see that one again, but that just broke this game wide open. Now a Roche going to be claimed for Secret with ease, but what a devastating fight.
Did he get a big snake?
He got some burst heal from what looked to be a soul rip there. They didn't even have like Puppey had a arcane ring in his backpack. I don't know if he actually used it because obviously mana regen is nice there. Maybe the arcane boots from Beastmaster as well. It's one of those things where it's funny how like things like arcane boots are really basically act as like a mini mech from Medusa. But it looked mostly like, yeah, she just got healed up by a nice soul rip there, and that was just barely enough. Obviously, the butterfly pick being a big part of that as well against the TB.
That's the exact point I was just going to bring up. It just got delivered. Of course, we saw the Corey got sniped prior, but just before that fight, he got the butterfly. And now afterwards, he has a Crystallis. So he's got even more damage inside these team fights in Liquid. They might need to reevaluate how they need to take a crack at Secret, because if they want to go all or nothing into Dusa, we saw what just happened.
Yep. And it's one of those things like, let's go all in on Dusa, pop the global silence so, you know, the teammates can't help her out. But I think as this Medusa gets more and more fun, that's just going to get kind of tricky to kind of take that approach. Like the TB has a Scotty now, BKB queued up, and I think you're kind of right. Like as TB, you can't just go into MKB here. You get too much value out of these stat items, not to mention BKB just seems essential. But if that's the case, like Medusa just maybe can't be your primary target with the RP and Skewer because you just don't have the damage to chew through it.
So I wonder the call for Liquid is like, are there any halberds going to be considered for them? That has always been one way that we've seen people address the Deucer lineup. Nisha's done it in the past. I mean, you've also got a bounty hunter who has a pretty versatile item build, but they haven't been able to... this is only 6 kills for Liquid, keep in mind, with a bounty hunter lineup. So they are not getting value out of this track at all.
Yeah. And outside of like maybe the Magnus, I'm just not seeing where they kind of farm up these halberds. You know, Void Spirit's not really the ideal item as well to pick up, so it does feel like, you know, halberd would be great, but you just don't have that kind of natural buyer for it unless you start winning some fights. And I think if you start winning some fights, you can solve the Medusa problem just by getting more farm on your TB, getting BKB into MKB, and just out-itemizing.
They're going to start onto the Magnus, but the Global Silence is there to protect Zai. Nisha's going to find an opportunity to jump Puppey. So no Static Storm inside the fight. It's going to be an easy 4v5 pickoff for them, but still, Crystallis is going to try and turn this back around. Chasing down Mickey. They're going to be lacking the stuns, though, with Armel's Blink continuing to get cancelled thanks to the Arcane Curse. They will not be able to penalize Liquid on that short attempt.
Yeah, it worked out. You kill the Disruptor means you don't have to worry about the retreat as much, and like you say, good job stopping that Blink from coming back on. So no opportunity for Secret to punish, but ultimately just a Disruptor kill.
Zai? He's chilling, he's chilling, he's chilling.
Okay. This does feel like an opening for Secret to, you know, barrel down mid lane, take at least a tier 2 tower here, but with no global, they can really force a fight.
You high ground? Is that a bit too much, potentially? I don't know. Maybe the high ground might be a concerning stage for Secret to be considering. You just go for some of the easier objectives. You know, tier 2 still left standing top lane.
A lot of room for Medusa to still grow. This ton of right-click damage now with Butterfly Daedalus, but the Skadi just gives you a ton of survivability and even extra damage as well with that slow. But there we go. 1 minute on the Aegis. They want to force this one at least. You know, force people back. Like 3 heroes are out on the map on Liquid's side. Nobody's defending.
It's going to be up to Zai, but the instant Static Storm from Puppey stops the skewer back. That was the hope of the defense, and now without Zai, this is going to be a difficult hold of this top set of barracks. Tombstone layered down out as well. There's nothing Liquid are going to be able to do to keep this alive.
Yeah, I mentioned, you know, how valuable it can be to have those insta like skewer counters. Usually it's like a point and click stun or disable the Rubik lift or something, but Puppey says, you know, Disruptor can do it too. I've got a Static Storm. I definitely didn't anticipate that play happening, but you can see Armel very impressed by it, throws a tip out his way, and they're not done with the pickups. They've now maybe caught Boxy as well. Limps up in a couple of seconds, but
a lot of damage on Armel.
Yeah.
Over the right side, they will get that glimpse back onto Boxy though. So going to the bounty, but still, Zai's going to be back alive shortly. So all that will result in is a full set at Barracks top, and Aegis is now out of the hands of Chrysalis.
Yeah, I mean, not ideal for Liquid, but not game-ending kind of damage as well. Like, they're kind of in that spot where they had to drag out this game anyways. Once they lost the fight and gave up an Aegis, they were always going to, you know, give up some ground somewhere where, they, you know, ideally it was just losing out of towers, losing a lane of racks, not great, but they get to find themselves in a position where once these ultis come back up, maybe they can take a fight, use that vision that the bounty hunter gives them, be the ones getting the jump, fighting around that global silence, and, you know, maybe that, you know, the TB now having BKB, although it really does feel like the MKB is the big item timing where suddenly, you know, Medusa becomes a viable target to initiate on when you have this MKB.
Yeah, what could that initiation be? Like a skewer back into global to stop the counter initiation from Secret, and then with Mickey's damage, maybe that is enough to kill Chrysalis? Yeah,
I think that they probably can kill Medusa in that kind of a scenario. You know, there's going to be things like Solar Crest, there's going to be defensive, all these defensive items thrown onto Medusa in that scenario, but, you know, the hope is that it's enough. You know, problem is teammates, they have BKB, so like Tiny and Beastmaster, they can get out of the global silence and then, you know, help bail out the Medusa by just charging in, roar somebody, you know, Tiny have it toss someone else, so there are ways to try and bail out the Medusa in that scenario, but, you know, there is a way for Liquid to win a team fight if they can execute.
The thing though, can they execute? And now they're going to be going into the Crimson Guard as well from FBZ. He's queued up a refresher, so he wants a little bit of extra control. prove to be an issue for Liquid to be able to pummel into Crystallis, who again is just balling out. Has he even died this? No, hasn't even died so far this game. 4-0 and 7. I brought up earlier maybe the concerns that sometimes we see around Tiny with the scaling. Armel is without a doubt scaling this game. He's going to be going AC, pretty close to it as well. So you're not only going to have a Deuce issue as this game goes on, you got a Tiny and a Beast issue as well.
Yeah, that's the really nice thing with Secret's Draft is, you're not just all in on this Medusa. You've got other ways to continue to outscale a TB, cause some problems, and I'm not really feeling like that's there for the Radiant side. Magnus side did end up queuing up the Halberd as a follow-up item to try and address the Medusa, but like you're going for all these utility items, Crimson Halberd, and the overwhelming physical damage, even like a Tiny, is just going to kind of shrug off.
This is a big ward for Liquid. It's a very important ward. Zai, he finds the opening.
Oh, he didn't get through to them.
Onto 4, and Nisha's in with all the fall damage, but it's only enough to get the kill onto Puppey. It's an all-out retreat now. Mickey's still considering about beating into Crystallis. Mickey's going to charge up the high up the roll. Gives an opportunity to turn around. Can he find a Sunder target? Crystallis does way too much damage. No hope for Mickey. And now they'll turn their attention over to Nisha as well, as with the Manta. Be able to get out of danger. Armel blinks over the top before the pathing. Reads it perfectly. Nisha's out of mobility now. They've got the daytime for the vision as well. They get a glimpse of him escaping to the left, but it looks like no one else is pursuing along with Yamich. But in the end, you could not have asked for a better start. RP onto 4, and they only got Puppey.
Yeah, it was a beautiful RP. I think the one only issue with it is probably the hero you want to catch, maybe not the most, but you really want to catch Medusa, and then Medusa was just outside of it. So she was doing damage into the RP, popping Stone Gaze and just really limiting the ability for the rest of Liquid to follow up the RP because she was still alive.
No,
and
kinetic field.
The cancel.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Does he have a buyback? He does not. That's a full set mid. When Terrorblade's alive, that's no meta, and that might just be game. They're going to go for the full set. They could just keep going as well. They'll know the meta timing.
I doubted their ability to address the Mag Skewer, but they've shown they've got the tools. The Static Storm, although Puppey may get jumped and picked off here.
He's so survived. Can he survive for an extra second? Static Storm's back up. Drops it on himself.
Yep.
Guessing his old teammate's going to try and go for the finishing blow, but Nisha looking out to the right side. Do they get a glimpse of him though? Armel? Not going to chuck out the avalanche. So he will escape, forces him away from the base, and at least it gives time for the mag respawn and the meta to be up shortly.
So no mega creeps, but another successful team fighting with Roshan up. Secret can just make their way over there. Liquid almost have to smoke out now. The problem is you've got creep waves in your base. You've got to deal with that. You're giving, basically full vision to your opponents of where you are on the map. So Secret basically know how much time they have to finish off Roche before there's any potential for a fight here. If you're Liquid, you're thinking, we gotta go now. Like, push out the top lane, make our way over there, but it just doesn't seem to be possible at all.
Bit of a nice snipe. Boxy's going to take the AC out of the hands of Armel, but the maybe condition we were speaking about a couple of minutes ago with how they could take fights on Liquid is now not really a possibility with the Aegis. If you want to skewer Crystallis back, into a global silence and potentially blow him up the once, well, now you've got a second life for him to play with, so it's going to get that much more difficult.
Yeah, it just does not seem viable at all. And this Medusa, the Vindicator's Axe is honestly a pretty sick item for Medusa, the neutral item. Like, you get stunned, you get silenced, and you're just getting all this extra survivability while stunned, all this extra damage while silenced. So, a very nifty item for Medusa that I think has a ton of value in a game like this. Basically means that you're just not... It kind of makes it even harder to focus and target the Medusa.
It just might need to see, again, I mean, Nisha's put a lot of importance on going for these easy targets, and that might need to be his role once again for this defense. If he can somehow find Puppey isolated with like a wraparound, maybe that's his jump. Tombstone's gonna make it so difficult though. Got the vision. If Zai steps a little bit too close, zombies straight away to cancel the blink.
It's just so hard. Medusa's just not a target. They're gonna go for the skewer back.
again, it doesn't get enough distance. The kinetic field proving to be an issue, and that was the global silence they were hoping for as well. Zai, he'll land the RP. Have they got the damage even to go through the first life? It looks like they do. They use so much. Let's see what they have left in the tank as Armel finds an opening for the toss back. Meanwhile, Zai, another skewer. Crystal stands strong. A Stone Gaze to turn around. Meanwhile, they've got all their attention put on Mickey. A Sunder target's going to be there, but once again, turned to stone. Crystallis, he can start to pump in the damage. The buybacks are going to be costly here for Liquid. That's how they can potentially turn this fight. As Nisha tries to get the jump in over to Armel. Armel taking through some of the damage, but meanwhile, Crystallis inside the base. He can protect the heroes. Secret, they've lost 2, but their main damage source is still standing strong. As Crystallis, he's looking to punch back, sending Liquid further away. It's going to be another skill, but Zayed might have just buried himself in his own grave, and without the Terror Blade, where is your damage?
They're all buying back here. They're going to try. They really want to catch this Medusa. She's getting low-ish on mana, but this doesn't feel like they have got the damage without that TB, but 4 alive, so this is enough to maybe force Secret back.
Ooh, Nisha. Cautious Armel. Very close. Now, Mega Creeps. Easy for Secret. Come back on off. Happy with the reward of their hard work. They can look to use the gold to buy this next set of items. You've got a Aghanim Scepter in the queue for Crystallis. Actually going to swap for the BKB. Refresher Orb just got completed for FBZ. Plenty more items for them to be able to close this game out.
Yeah. They want to play things safe. They can fall back, you know, grab their Tormentor, their Wisdom Runes, do all the, you know, the little things. But now it's Boxy's Bounty that's being a bit of a pest. That's really all it is. Like that little fly, you just, you know, not winning you the game by any means, but it's just something that's kind of delaying things. Every little courier snipe means you have to wait for a couple more minutes before you get your items up. You're losing power runes, wisdom runes to this bounty hunter who just keeps getting in behind enemy lines. But we'll take another look at this fight here. It was, you know, a valiant defense from Liquid. They just don't have quite enough into an Aegis Medusa. Like, it's like kill her once, sure, but then the TP had to Sunder and was still like fighting on a sliver of health, and without a second Sunder, he just didn't have the ability to kind of outlast Medusa there.
Oh, it's 0% probability. Damn.
Oh no.
There's apparently no hope of a Mega Creep comeback, and especially not if Insania goes down. No global silence for this potential last fight. Is Nisha's stuck in the trees? I don't know if they know that though. Oh, that's a pretty nice target. A will stand strong off the back of the BKB. Meta was popped as well. I mean, Secret, if you want to play it safe, just disengage away from the base, wait for Meta to expire, and you can just go back in, discipline, play out of Secret.
Exactly what they'll do. And they can even wait for Medusa. Like, she's got 6.5k gold. You could easily get another big item. Has the BKB queued up. Has room for an item to sell your magic wand. There's definitely no rush when it comes to their current position. But I think the meta being down is a pretty nice opening for them to go for that killing blow.
Nisha will find Poppy alone. Can I get the static storm off? Oh, still on cooldown. Apologies, Poppy. Goes out. Now, Biamich is taking a lot of damage. Look at Nisha go to work on both the supports. Is this the opening Liquid have been waiting for? FBZ turns with the Raw. Crystal's going to be able to show up as well. Straight over to Mika. They go double Raw. Now with the Stone Gaze, they're going to try and do whatever they can to protect Mika and the RP. That's enough to disrupt the damage. Mika, he'll stand strong, but still it's going to be up to Nisha to pump in the damage. They'll try and bring FBZ down. He's falling low, but the Parvies keeps him alive. And now they'll turn to clean up. Insania stuck in no man's land, 4 gone, without any buybacks, and Secret will be able to take game 1 pretty goddamn convincingly.
Yeah, I mean, they just built this draft around the Medusa where it just felt like there was no real answers in the end. Even fights where she's being skewered in, they didn't seem to bother Secret once they had an Aegis on her. And numerous times they were ready for that Magnus skewer and really limited Zai's playmaking and ability to do a whole lot. And Yeah, one of the things with the TB match, so even in that last fight where a nice Sunder on Medusa, it's not like just kind of doesn't have to worry about, doesn't need to go into a Lincoln's or anything, can just tank the Sunder, continue to fight, do overwhelming damage with Butterfly Daedalus so that, even the TB just felt like he was melting here in the late game.
In the draft, we were asking for a bit of a response to the mag skewer. We've seen a lot of the instant stuns. Of course, the Rubik Telekinesis comes to mind back at TI-10 from PSG LGD. Puppey brings his own little bit of flair in this with the kinetic field. We saw multiple times that the skewer wasn't able to go through. I really have a vague feeling it used to like a couple of months ago, so I don't know if some mechanic has changed or something, but for them, Secret, I mean, that was what we were asking for, right? To be able to stop that play. They tried to go for it multiple times, and in the end, I mean, this is your comeback potential a lot of the time on the Magnus, so just that very interesting response from Puppey was very clutch in a lot of their high ground pushes.
Yeah, no, it really limited Liquid's big way to start a fight. Like, they kind of built their draft around this idea that, Magnus silencer, like Magnus blink skewers in, global silencer followed up, and whoever you go on, ideally a carry like a Medusa gets, deleted. They even had like Boxy on Bounty to try and get vision, but it just didn't really pan out. The big fight we'll see here, this bottom fight around the Roshan pit where they went on the Medusa and she lived. This could be a completely different game, and the story worth telling about, how Medusa works. If they kill Medusa there, maybe Liquid's something ahead with an Aegis, and TB's, has an item advantage over Medusa and can actually address her, but it just felt like they never quite had the damage because of how good of a lane and start that Chrysalis got on Medusa this game.
Hey, Parker, can you tell me why a carry hero can provide pretty much 8 seconds of control with something like a Stone Gaze and with the talent?
This is a beautiful game. Dota 2, everything's OP.
Yes.
We love it. Some things are just a bit more OP than others, okay?
So we don't question the frog.
No. He works in mysterious ways.
That he does. Apparently he's a big Dusa fan, wants to continue to see this hero in the meta, and well, if you keep getting performances out of that, I don't know if we'll see it too soon, because even though with those previous nerfs still looking strong, but of course it is also the player as well, and Chrysalis definitely performed, and they did very much enable him as well. I like what they did, putting Yarmich in the safe lane to body the Magnus, and maybe this is something that we need to see addressed a little bit in the next game. Liquid, their lane setup in that one in particular with the bounty mag was a little bbit weak, and we didn't really feel the value of the bounty overall this game. Yeah,
bounty's a hero obviously seeing a lot more and more, and it